Look, if you truly want to build your business this year and you want to skyrocket that brand, the number one way to do that right now is to have a book that represents your brand or business. Now, just hear me for a second. Let's look at every big influencer on social media that you know today that talks about business. Alex Hormozy. He sold Gym Launch for $200 million it was before he was ever a household name. What made him that household name? $100 million offers and $100 million leads. So look at Simon Sinek, Mel Robbins. Russell Brunson is quoted saying the number one thing he did that helped him build ClickFunnels, which is a tech product, right, was his books. Every single one of them has a book that represents their brand or business that brings them consistent leads. I challenge you, if you find one that doesn't have a best-selling book, comment them down below so I know who they are. You need to have a book that brings you consistent leads. I'm going to show you how to do that with my 3 secrets to publishing a book that builds your brand or business. But before we jump into it, who am I? My name is Zachariah Stratford. I've helped publish over 100,000 titles as CEO of a company called The Book Patch. And now I have a company called The One Book Millionaire, where we help entrepreneurs build that 7-figure business from their book. So today I'm going to share with you my 3 secrets that you probably will not hear anywhere else on how to truly build your business from a book. The common misconception that I hear is, oh, I'm going to launch my book on Amazon and I'm going to get a ton of sales, and Amazon is going to do all the promoting because they're the biggest platform out there. So everyone's going to see my book on Amazon. They're going to buy my book, read my book, and then they're going to reach out to me. This is so false. And I know why people do this, because you've been sold the dream that Amazon is your ticket. And I'm going to be real with you. It is absolutely the last thing you want to do if you want to make money from a book. And here's why. The most important tool you can have for building a business is what? I'll give you a second. It's a lead. The lead is the number one way you build your business, right? And when you publish on Amazon, guess what they don't give you? They don't give you the name, email, or phone number of the person that bought your book. So think about this for a second. You spend months or sometimes years writing your book, getting your book ready, right? Maybe you spend thousands of dollars with a publisher like myself that can do it for you, or you're working with ghostwriters, whatever it is. You do all that work, and then you go to launch your book and you say, okay, I'm going to publish it on Amazon. I'm going to send all of my traffic, everyone who's ever known me, I'm going to get them to go buy my book on Amazon. They go do that. You launch your book. Maybe you hit bestseller, maybe you don't. Guess what Amazon does? Amazon says, great, thank you for that lead. I'm going to sell them more Amazon products. No, you can't follow up with them. You can't send them a thank you note. You can't sell them your other tickets, your other products and services, none of that. And you've basically done all that work to give Jeff Bezos all of your money and everything you did to earn that lead. It's absolutely the opposite of what you want to do. You want to sell that person your book, right? And then get them to buy your other products and services. It's much, much easier to build a 6 or 7-figure business when doing it that route. And that's what we're going to dive into today, is how exactly do you build that business. Secret number 1, you're going to use Facebook ads to test everything that you're going to write about inside of your book. So you're writing this book for your dream customer because you want them to buy your coaching program or your retreats or your consulting or your courses or your membership, paid community, all of those things. You're writing that book specifically to drive that traffic to those other products and services. Now, you want to make sure that that book is curated specifically for that customer. I'm going to show you exactly how we do that. Okay. So now what we do is we target that person. We come up with an audience on Facebook. Obviously, this is who you're targeting. So this is a client of mine, and he sells products to men from 20 to 45. So, and they're roughly entrepreneur types, business owner types, right? So that's who we want to target. So we come up with an audience of how we target those people specifically on Facebook. So we have men 20 to 45, right? Estimated audience size about 19 to 24 million in America. They're small business owners, and entrepreneurs. Now, what we do is we come up with a list of potential titles for that person, right? A list of potential titles for our book. So here in this specific example, he came up with 10 different titles. We then ran those titles as an ad on Facebook. So no other thing. It was just a blank ad with the text, because I'm not trying to get into colors or anything right now. I don't want to know any of that. I just want to know what title resonates the best with my audience, that group of men 20 to 45. So then I do all the testing and I come up with, okay, right, this title worked the best, the better man, the science of becoming the man you are meant to be, right? This title did the best with that audience. So guess what the title of my book is going to be? That's going to be it. Then we go into cover design, right? So we do this as well. We go to 99 Designs, we order a bunch of different covers, right? And then I do the same thing. I'm testing that title, that cover, with my audience, with that group of men, those 20 million men, right? And this is the cover design. And an average click-through rate is about 1.5% on Facebook ads. And you can see we did 12.5%. So this is the cover. Might not be the prettiest cover. Well, definitely wouldn't have been my first choice, or definitely would have been my author's first choice, or his friend's family's first choice. But guess what? It's the cover that gets the most clicks with the audience that we're trying to attract into our business. So that's the cover we do. You have to take your own personal, right? Your own personal preference out of it, because you're not writing the book for you. You're writing the book for the person you want to attract in your business. So let's make sure that that is specifically designed to get them to click. Right now, we do another thing where we do pain points. So we come up with a list of statements, right? What is that person, this dream customer of yours, what are they struggling with? And if you're an expert in your business, you should know this right off the top of your head, right? So we come up with that, all of these statements, right? So this specific person, right? This is a book on internal family systems and therapy and healing, right? And so these are the pain point statements they came up with. I try to keep it together on the outside, but underneath I know there are the things I need to face, and I'm not sure I'm ready to deal with them. So we ran that as an ad. Got 600, 700 people saw the ad. 61 people clicked on that ad, which is almost a 10% click-through ratio. Like I said, an average click-through ratio is 1.5%, and this is getting 8.7%. So what does that mean? Is that this statement resonates with the audience of this book that we're writing. So we come up with 30 to 40 of these different statements, and we test all of them. But now, guess what? Here's the hack, right? Now I have all of these statements that I know resonate with the audience, right? This is a different audience, obviously. They resonate with this audience. So now I can use these to help write the book and in the marketing of the book. Imagine you are opening a book. When you open that book, it talks about every single problem that you have, or the statements of things inside that you're saying in your head. Well, how are you going to feel? You're going to feel like that book was specifically written for you, right? And so this is why we do the pain point testing and this kind of testing first before we ever even write up the book, because I want to know what is that audience struggling with before, and I'm going to write the book specifically for them. Right? Make sure it covers every single pain, right? And make sure that is also covering my framework, which we'll talk about next. Guess what else I have? Now, this could be a TikTok series or an Instagram, this could be a short form content that you create, right? Each one of these could be a short form video that you create that leads them back to your book. Each one of these could be a freaking series that you come up with, right? Because I know that this is relevant to my audience, and that's what I want to talk about, right? And so this is the ultimate hack in coming up with what you're going to talk about in your book, but also what is resonating with your audience at the time you are writing your book, which is data that you must have in order to write a book. Secret number 2, Now that you have the pain and the title of your book, right, and you understand what's relevant to the audience that you're writing the book, you're going to use AI to write your book. Here's where my caveat is you need to identify what the framework for your business is. So these are the exact steps you take your client from A to Z, this dream client, right? This dream customer that you've been running ads to, who they are, what your exact steps for your business are A to Z. So let's say it's a fitness product, you're selling to men 20 to 30, and they're going to get their dream body, right? They're going to look like a Greek god. Okay, so what are those steps that you take them through A to Z in your business? Right? That is your framework, okay? Now your framework can literally be anything. It's going to be your book, but it can be the course that goes along after it. It can be the retreat that you do. It can be your paid community. It can be literally anything. So once you're clear on that framework, you're going to use AI to develop your outline for your book, which is your framework, and then make sure you're covering those pain points, that list of pain points that you came up with. Make sure you're using those in your book as well. Right? And there's a number of tools that you can use to write a book. The tool we developed is called Authorwizard.ai. It takes my steps, my prompts from that we've developed over the last 3 years of how we write really good nonfiction books. It takes you through those step-by-steps to help you write a book using this framework. So feel free to check that out. I'll put the link down below. But if you don't want to use that tool, there's plenty of others. You can use Claude to write your book. You can use ChatGPT to write your book. Pseudo-Write is another AI tool that helps you write a book. I think they do fiction and others. So use any tool you want, but just be really clear about the framework that you're doing. You need to not just do a one-click, right? It's going to write the entire book for me in one-click AI bullshit, right? Because the book is going to sound like shit. It's not going to speak to your audience that you want to attract in your business, and it's not going to include any of you, right? So if you're going to use AI to write the book, make sure for every chapter, you're including multiple personal stories. You're including talking about your expertise. You're really pouring into the book what makes you great in your expertise, and then really working on the tone, using AI to develop your tone, right? So it sounds like you. So that's hack number 2, is use AI to write the book, but make sure you're using your tone and you're inserting your expertise and those pain points so you're writing a crystal clear, amazing book for your dream customer that they're going to find a ton of value in and want to work with you in all your other products and services. They're going to want to buy your course because they know that, oh wow, they've really spent the time. They really understand my needs, my desires, my pain, right? And they're really going to be able to help me get to that place that I wanted. And then secret number 3 is build a book funnel. This is how you're going to build a 6 or 7 figure business, is your funnel where they come in, they buy your book, right? And on the checkout, them buying your book, you're going to offer them your audiobook and workbook, which you can use AI to do an audiobook. 11 Labs is a great tool for an audiobook, right? A workbook, use the same AI tool to just say, for every chapter, create a single workbook page. It's 12 chapters, 12 pages. Now you have a workbook. I'll show you a client that we work with, right? So first, we start with access the book early. So we do an early release for the book, right? So you can start drumming up early wins, and if you need to warm up an audience, like let's say you've never done this before, right? You're going to want to warm up your audience, your friends and family, right? You're going to take all your contacts, upload them to your CRM, right? And say, hey, I'm doing an early release for the book, right? Where you can start selling the copy. We sold the copy at $27. Access the book early and a thank you page, right? And then we get ready for the book launch event. So we do a digital book launch event, right? Where this is basically a live training. We call it a launch event. So the more you can get people to show up to this event, you can run ads to this, right? And you're going to make this as fun as possible to celebrate your book launch and also give them some free training, right? That basically is centered around your book. And there's a ton of examples of this. Alex Hormozy did a really great one you can find on YouTube. Jamie Kern Lima did this. Matthew Hussey has done this. There's lots of big influencers now. Most of them are doing this digital style book launch event. Right? So this is to launch your book, right? But then after this book launch event, right, you're going to have your book funnel, right? And so this is what you put up as links on your social media, and then the rest of the year, you tell people to go grab the book on your website, and you're going to send them to a page like this, right? There's lots of simple ones where you sell the book. Yes, send me a copy. It's only $27, right? You use AI to create your little bonuses, right? Send them a copy. Send me a copy of the book, and then on the checkout of the book, you upsell your audiobook and workbook. Right? The little, has anyone, you guys have seen that probably, the little blinking lights, right? The blinking light that says, hey, add this to your package for only $47. That's what you'll do with your audiobook and workbook. And then on the thank you page, right, you're going to give them a special one-time invitation, right, to get a copy of your course, which is based off of the outline of your book. So it should be very easy to create. It's just an expanded version of your book. Let's say you did 12 chapters of your book, right? Now you record a 1-hour training of the things you discuss in that book. Now you have 12 1-hour trainings. That's a course, baby, right? And so now you have a course to sell with your book, right? And you can do $9.97, $4.97, $2.97. There's lots of ways to do that. But this is what's going to help you build your business. Now, I want to show you an example here. Let's just do some math. Let's say you have just a digital product, a course that you're selling after your book. So you're selling your book at $30 on your website. You're going to spend $3,000 a month. The amount of ads it takes you to get one sale is $15. And then it costs you about $6 printing and $6 shipping to fulfill that order, to print and send them the book. Then you have an audiobook, workbook upsell, so that one-click upsell, those roughly converted about 30%. All right, so just from those numbers, you're gonna have 200 book sales that month. And then your upsells at that 30% conversion, you're gonna have about 60 upsells. So your upsell revenue is $2,800 just in revenue from the digital audiobook and the digital workbook that you send them. Your fulfillment total is $2,400. So your total revenue is $8,800 from 200 sales, 6,000, plus your upsell revenue minus your fulfillment total, right? So that is $3,400 profit. Now, the thank you page, you're selling your digital product. So that's roughly going to convert at 3 to 5%. So let's say you convert at 5%. At a $497 product, that's another $4,900 in revenue. So your total profit from this model here is $8,390. This is how you start building your digital product. And we've created a couple different models. Let's say you sell a monthly. So you're doing, let's just say the same numbers here. $3,000 a month, right? $3,400 profit. And let's say you convert them into a monthly $47, like a school community or something else. Your revenue is $470 a month from that. But look at month after month, that's going to increase. And that's not even saying if you start increasing your ad budget because you're actually getting sales. So now look at it, right? You're increasing month over month. Now let's look at high ticket. So now let's say you do the same thing. You're selling, we'll do the $5,000 a month, and all of this can change. Let's say your cost per sale, let's say you're doing really good marketing, your cost per sale goes down to 7. Look how much that shoots up your profit for that month. Then let's say you get them to book a call with you. So 5% of the people book a call, that's 35 book calls, right? And then from there, so your cost per book call is 0, but your show up rate, so 35 are gonna book, you're only gonna get 70% that show up to the call. Okay, 25 people show up, you close 20% of them. That's 5 total closes that month. Let's say you're selling a $10,000 product. Boom, your revenue is $49,000, right? Total profit, $66,000 a month. So we sell high ticket from our book funnels. I like this model the best, right? But check out your ROAS, right? So this is what's possible for you. I'll actually put this KPI calculator in the description so you can play around with it. But truly, this is what's possible with book funnels when you're selling the book and you're keeping all the data for yourself. You're upselling. We didn't even get into really advanced funnels. Let's say you have a downsell, you have 2 different upsells plus a downsell. I mean, we can go wild and crazy with this, but really you have the control when you're doing a book funnel like this. And another benefit to that is now you have a built-in audience for book number 2 and book number 3, or you just do monthly live trainings. You've already built that audience now from selling the book. Maybe they don't buy the book, but now you have an audience. Maybe they'll show up to a free training. Maybe they'll want to go to your retreat. Maybe they're going to want to buy book number 2, right? All of this is now stored, saved with you forever, right? And you can sell them over and over and over again. So if you want to 10x your business, this is absolutely the way to do it, is have a low ticket, easy to sell book that discusses your overall framework. Now you have an authority piece. Turn that book into a bestseller. Now you're a best-selling author. When you want to get booked on stages, they're going to look to see if you have a best-selling book. You want to get booked on a TEDx talk, they're going to look to see if you have a book out there, right? All of this is the number one authority play you can make for yourself and your business. So let's review. Secret number 1, you're going to test your pain points, your audience, your cover designs, your final ads. All of that is going to help you identify what you need to be talking about in your book, right? What the struggles are of the audience you're trying to target, right? And then what they enjoy the most, what their struggles are. So what you need to be discussing about in your marketing. Secret number 2, you're going to use AI to help you write the book, but not a one-click, shitty, bland ChatGPT book. You're going to use the pain points, use the data that you already have to develop a really powerful book that's in your tone, that uses your expertise, that has your personal stories. Because the only thing a book is, there's no new data, there's no new thing that we talk about in the world. Look at Marcus Aurelius and what he talked about 2,000 years ago. He's dealing with the same problems. There's no new information. What's really new is who you can speak to, how you speak to them, and then your personal stories that make it unique, a unique experience for that reader. That's it. It's a connection between the reader and you. So make sure that's unique. And then secret number 3, you're going to develop a book funnel so you can upsell them your audiobook, your workbook, your courses, your paid, your high ticket programs, whatever it is, right, to help you build that 6 and 7 figure brand. So comment down below your thoughts, your book ideas. I want to hear from you, and I want to hear if you have any questions as well. And then if you want support in building these funnels or anything else, you can reach out, book a call with my team. The links are all in the description. We'll see you guys in the next video.